Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in to Corey Mathis Fishing. This video is going to be a little different. I'm going to try to do some voiceover stuff today to kind of take you inside, exactly what's going on when I catch these fish and kind of explain the techniques that I'm doing. So if you like this format, if you like, hearing about what I'm actually doing, please drop a comment and let me know. I really appreciate it. So starting out today, I was doing some shallow cranking. You guys know that I really like shallow cranking in the wintertime. Throwing a red crankbait on a point, and this first fish comes off of a really shallow point that has some stumps on it. I bumped a stump, and the fish came off and smoked this crankbait. Ate it really good. Had it both ways in its mouth. So um, just to let you know, the fish came out of probably 12 to 16 inches of water. So that did tell me that this fish, and there were fish
solid
up
fish.
extremely shallow on this day.
Maybe 2 pounds, get a little more.
All right, so when you're shallow cranking, in my opinion, you get that first bite. It is very, very important that you really kind of comb over that area really well. Usually this time of year, if you find a fish shallow, you're going to find 3 or 4, probably a pod of good ones shallow. So what I did is, I kind of circled this point. I fished it from the left side, the right side, straight on right now, and then I come back down and throw back across it here in a second and catch another fish. Alright, so as you can see, I've probably made 6, 7, 8 casts on this point since catching that first fish. And the key is to consistently change the angle and give these fish a little bit different presentation. I actually started on the side that I'm about to catch this fish on, and I fished all the way around the point and then all the way back around, and you'll see that I hook up right here. So it's always good to give these fish multiple presentations.
Pretty decent fish. Go. That one. That one, guys. He choked it. Okay. Good one. I don't know, probably 33 and a half. Crankbait. Spro Little John.
All right, this next fish that I'm about to catch is something that I've used tons of times, and it definitely works this time of year. Whenever you're out there and it's a cold day, definitely look for the sunny side of the lake. And the second clue that there might be a fish on this bank was the red clay. Red clay is something that a lot of people know about. Shallow red clay points and banks are fish magnets this time of year when they want to get up shallow and feed and and warm up, especially on really cold days. So this bank had some red clay on it, and had a little flat on the side of this point, and this fish was just on that flat. So
Good one. There we go. Another really solid fish. Long and skinny though. Needs to eat up.
alright guys, I'm going to include these next two clips just to show you. I had several fish after I caught that third one bite, and I missed the fish. So a good tip, after you've used a crankbait a handful of times, change those hooks out, especially if you're going to do some tournament fishing, you know, the night before a tournament, just to make sure you give yourself the best chance to hook up on every fish that bites. You'll see right here I missed one. So always change your hooks out.
Hey, gotta buy you one of them lines, though. Yep, man.
I know it, right?
I'm gonna get me one.
Yep.
Yep. It's like cheap, but I'm gonna get it.
I know it, right?
Here we go with the last fish catch. I threw up on this cypress tree and caught this fish. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna take the rest of this video and on the water and really break down the rod, reel, baits that I prefer, the situations that I prefer them in, and that type of thing. So again, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please leave a comment and leave a like. It really helps out the channel, and I appreciate you.
Number 4. Not a bad one. Let's catch a limit and get out of here. I'm gonna do a real quick recap, show you the fish. All right, one, two, there's 3. And the prize for today. There's the last. All right guys, that's it for today. The rest of this video is just gonna be on my setup, what I throw it on, and kind of the conditions that determine, you know, what type of setup I use. So first off, I always use around a 7-foot medium action rod. I like a medium action. I like a lot of give, and I will use 10, 12, or 15 pound fluorocarbon, and I use the line size to manipulate how deep I want a particular bait to get, and I also use line size for castability. There's a huge difference in being able to cast a DT6 with 10 pound fluorocarbon versus 15 pound fluorocarbon. You can get a lot more distance, a lot more control with a lighter line. So that just depends on the weather conditions and the type of cover that I'm going to be fishing. So if it's heavy cover, really jagged rock, riprap, I'm going up to 15. If it's, you know, lighter cover, I will go down to 12 or 10. Normally, now in the past I've started out with 15, but now I kind of start with 12. I use primarily either a Duckett or a Dobyns Fury series, and in my opinion, of all the techniques that I do, The shallow cranking is the technique that really doesn't need a high priced, higher end rod. You do want to be able to feel the thump in the butt of the rod and in the reel, because lots of times when you're shallow cranking, you'll come over some stumps, you'll come over a rock, and you will feel that crankbait stop vibrating, set the hook. Lots of times, these bites just feel like mush or a wet sock on the end of your line, and I've caught countless 5-pounders this year where one I haven't showed yet that's from Eufaula, I didn't know I had a fish on until it got right by the boat, and it was a 5-pound bass. So that's kind of how it is this time of year, but don't take any chances. Set the hook whenever you feel any kind of tick or any kind of resistance, and you feel your crankbait stop vibrating. My favorite reel to throw to shallow crank with is the old school BB1 Pro. It's a really smooth reel. It's got a really big spool, lets the bait get out there, but there's a bunch. There's a lot of good crankbait reels. I like to keep it at 6.4 to 7.2 on the gear ratio. I will go higher, but I will not go lower, and I believe that sometimes speed is actually what triggers these fish to bite. A lot of people will tell you slow down, slow down, slow down, with a crankbait in particular. I don't always agree with that, even in the winter. I feel like sometimes when you're burning it and you're just grinding it, it's coming by them so fast, they've got to react, and they've got the ability to eat that bait and catch up with it. So I don't know if I miss fish because of that or if I catch fish because of that, but I do believe that actually sometimes speeding up helps more than slowing down. The 3 crankbaits that I've been primarily using this year are the red DT6. There's 2 or 3 versions. The most popular one is definitely the Demon, and then the Spro square bill. That's what I called all of the ones on today. I'm really starting to like the Spro a lot, and I'm using the KVD 1.5 flat side square bill. It's the deep running. I think it says it runs 9 to 12 foot. That's what I use for a little bit deeper cranking, and I've caught a couple really good fish with that this year. So it all depends on your conditions and which tool you need for the situation. So anyway, that's it for today. Hope you guys get out there and enjoy this beautiful weather. It's almost warm enough to take this jacket off. So anyway, stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for viewing, and we'll catch you at Eufaula. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for subscribing. The channel is really growing, and we appreciate you.